Hello, BookTube. I have a book mail haul here. It's a little small. It's only 4 packages, but that means we'll get through it all the faster. I had a much larger mail haul just recently uh, that I opened off camera, and I have as good a reason as I could possibly get. I had a guest, and he very much wanted to open the mail together. And when I suggested that we do it on camera, he blanched absolutely bone white and categorically refused to do it. And as I've said a couple of times on this channel before, the in person hospitality takes precedence over video filming. I wish that everyone were as comfortable on a camera as I am, but not everyone is. So that mail haul went by the boards, and those books will have to crop up later in some other capacity. But in the meantime, we have these four that we can go through just to keep your mail habit fixed, as it were. So what have we got here? Okay, this is something called The Long Deception by Mary McCluskey. Looks like a novel. The sudden death of a childhood friend forces a woman to rethink her own life and make an impossible decision. Alison Eastlake has come a long way from the wild days of her youth in England. Now, instead of streaking her hair purple in her friend Sophie's basement, she has a career in advertising in Los Angeles and attends black tie dinners with her executive husband. Then Alison receives news that Sophie has died of a drug overdose, leaving behind a slew of unanswered questions. She must go back home. Once there, she unearths reminders of her unruly past, including feelings for Sophie's brother Matt, and finds that she is still powerfully attracted to him. Careening dangerously close to a full-blown affair, Alison must now make an impossible decision. But when a long-buried secret about Sophie resurfaces, it shatters everything Alison had always believed about the past, and forces her to rethink her own life, her marriage, and her future. And Mary McCluskey has written another novel and a collection of short stories. I don't see the impossible decision, but then again, I'm not a creature of the 21st century who swore an oath on an altar to be loyal and so to be sexually faithful. I might think that oath is nonsense, but if you swore it, there is no impossible dilemma unless you intend to break your oath. No, the real problem here isn't the oath in the book. The real problem is this is little a. This is the literary imprint of Amazon Books, and that is causing me still all sorts of ethical questions about what to do with little a books. Because they're made by Amazon. They're published in books, in physical printed paper books by Amazon, which is a rapacious, horrible outfit that is as unethical as the day is long. And on the one hand, the disembodied critical voice in my head says, well, a good book is a good book. So, who cares where it's published or how it's published? If the novel itself is really good, that's all you should concentrate on. And another part of me, a slightly more materialistic part of my mind, says, no, that's rewarding Amazon for pauperizing and preying on the rest of the book industry. There'll always be good manuscripts. It does matter how it gets to the reading public. I haven't solved it. I've actually gone to the extent of asking publicists for little a to talk back and forth with me on it, and so far that's yielded nothing. They've maybe understandably become a little defensive, even though I've been on my best behavior to be nice about asking questions. But I still haven't figured it out. When I do, I will let you know. Maybe I should just make a video about it. Maybe that'll help to clarify my thoughts. But anyway, let's move on. I so far have not reviewed a little a book. Because it just seems like giving a megaphone, giving a reward to a publisher that wants to be the only publisher in the world. They're not content to be one among many. They want to be the only one. They want to rig the system. And you can easily envision 5 or 6 years from now a circumstance in which Amazon doesn't publish anything but their own works and has almost total control over the means of dissemination for anybody else. so you know, you'll play ball with them, or you. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So what's this thing? Oh, very nice. Okay, excellent. This is a Legacy of Spies. This is a finished copy of A Legacy of Spies by John le Carré. You don't even need to blurb it. It's for John le Carré. You don't even need to blurb it. This comes out, I think, in October. Is that right? No, it comes out in early September. I will be. This was a great treat. This returns to events from The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, and only it tells them now, and it reads them through a 21st century prism, and it's going to get talked about everywhere. And I'm going to be reviewing it for the Christian Science Monitor, so I will be part of that conversation, which is great fun. I think it's one of my first reviews for September. Fantastic. Good. Nice to have a finished copy. Let me move on to this thing here. What have we got here? Oh, it's another finished copy. Okay, great. This also comes out in September, if I'm not mistaken. No, this comes out in early October. And we've seen this on this channel before, I believe. That's a pretty thing, though. It's by Christopher Tyerman, and it's How to Plan a Crusade. Religious war in the High Middle Ages. The story of the wars and conquests initiated by the First Crusade and its successors is itself so compelling that most accounts move quickly from describing the Pope's call to arms to the battlefield. In this highly original and enjoyable new book, Christopher Tyerman focuses on something obvious but overlooked, the massive, all-encompassing, and hugely costly business of actually preparing a crusade. Fantastic. Fantastic. This author is a source of one of the few remaining sources of new book regret for me, because he did a big, fantastic, gigantic book on the Crusades, just a general history of the Crusades called God's War. And I got it, I think it was 2007 or 2008. I got an advance copy, I got the finished copy, and I got rid of both of them, and I cannot find them anywhere, and I miss it. I loved that book. The more I look back on it, the more I wish I had a copy of God's War. And I keep waiting. My standard dictum, referring to those of you who are new to the channel to a great used bookstore here in Boston, is that the Brattle Bookshop will provide. Sooner or later, someone will unload a copy of God's War at the Brattle, and then I will be able to rectify what was a stupid mistake. But in the meantime, I'll happily read anything this author writes, especially on the Crusades. And then this is the last one, and then we'll wrap this up for now. What is this? Okay. This comes out in October. This is from the New York Review of Books. This is something I have waited 35 years to see. This is the collected essays of Elizabeth Hardwick. I had the Unbound Galley, with just a big plastic paperclip holding it together, and now I have the finished version. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Elizabeth Hardwick, for those of you who might not know the name, was one of the greatest practitioners of my own profession. One of the greatest writers on books that has ever put pen to paper. And I have longed for decades for her collected essays, because there have been little books here and there dropped at regular intervals, and I've loved them all, I've cherished them all, but I've wanted one Omnium Gatherum of all of them, and here it is, and it's in a lovely paperback. Oh my, oh my. Okay, all right, so let's just wrap this up. I can rhapsode on my own. So this is How to Plan a Crusade, then A Legacy of Spies, John le Carré, fantastic. Then The Long Deception, a little A novel that I will definitely read. I'm still at odds about what to do about little A books beyond reading them. And then The Collected Essays of Lizzie Hardwick, which I am now going to, I say dip into, but I'm almost certainly going to read the whole thing when I should be doing other things. Doesn't matter. Some things in this life take priority. So I'm going to go and do that. I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.